Welcome here to my land here in Iquitos, Peru. Walking on a trail to check out a new spot that I'm developing. One of my guys here is cutting a nice, beautiful trail to an area that I'm going to set up shaman services, what's known as a maloca, which is where you would drink ayahuasca or San Pedro or many other forms of natural medicines that are found here. There's actually several here that I'm still learning about. I've also had a lot more time to sit down and focus on crypto, some things that I've been missing out on. I've recently become just infatuated with this Zen Crypto project and the implications that it has. What they're doing solves so many problems that I personally have been having since I got into crypto. If you look at Bitcoin, it's not really what it was intended to be. This was intended to be the people's money, something everyone could get into and share. To get into Bitcoin is expensive, and it's not something that everyone wants to get into.
So the biggest problem in crypto is the 95% of people do not even understand crypto. They don't know how to use their wallets, they don't know what exists, how to be safe. So Zen was conceived as a solution to introduce safe cryptocurrency to people that you do not need to buy.
There's this adoption curve that's not happening with cryptocurrency, and it's still in its infancy, right? And there's this model that we have right now where you introduce a coin and it has a lot of value, where they're just simply creating a project based on the value of their primary token, and it's difficult for people to get into. There's no adoption there.
The problem with crypto world today is that 99.9% of all the projects are scams, where the teams are creating cryptocurrency for themselves first, and then they try to sell it as an investment vehicle to someone else.
I'm gonna have to build a bridge here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get my shoes wet. People that don't have any money, they can't get into crypto. Even the people that have money don't want to get into crypto. For instance, my mother. I have been, trying so many different ways to explain different types of things. She doesn't want any part of it. She's the type of person that saves all of her money and lives on the interest. She's just living on that. She's old. She has to worry about upcoming medical expenses. She has money to get in, even for a very small amount. She just doesn't want any part of it. Many people in my family are like that. And so what you find if you're in the crypto space long enough is people don't want to teach you crypto. They don't really want to get hands-on and explain these things. The thing about Zen Crypto is that it solves that issue, because you're completely turning the tokenomics upside down. You're giving out a free token. Someone can get into crypto and they can mint their own coins. And then anyone can get into crypto projects. And on top of that, you're getting into something that's actually giving you money. If you're able to teach this to people, they don't have to invest any money in it. And then they're making money, explaining to them how they can take that money and cash it out and put it into, for them, what they know as money is fiat currency. You put that into their hands, that completely flips a switch in their brain. Well, this is a massive tree over here that is on my land. We're clearing out this space. So this is where you would be drinking ayahuasca, doing shaman services. This is a really interesting tree. I didn't want them to cut it down. It kind of twists, and some of the smaller ones, they make really cool like handlebars and things like that. The whole reason I cleared out this area is for this tree. It is just absolutely gorgeous. We need to clean it up. I'm gonna cut the smaller trees. You can see it kind of has some like red tones in it. This is the coolest looking tree on my land that I found so far. I mean, I haven't even explored 90% of my land. I don't even know what's out there. So what's great about Zen Crypto, like I understood some of the basics when I first started getting into it, but I didn't understand how that would work. And then when I started hearing about some of the inflation models and some of the ways that they're implementing newer platforms on top of that to burn Zen, to basically bring the supply down and make it more valuable.
So we're trying to build an economy that balances each other out. So Zen's emissions are ultra inflationary. So the inflation rate is very high today. But with the release of NFTs, which is the first application built on top of Zen, Zen will be used as currency to actually generate more NFTs. So NFTs are rare and Zen is abundant. And the rarity and abundance together creates this sort of a balancing mechanism.
It's happening and it's working. So you have to understand like why this is so big, because what you have in effect is an attack on all of the other cryptos. Oy. Oh, am I step on you? Better watch out. It's spamming the networks. You're incentivizing people to get into crypto and learn how to set up a wallet, what they need to do to secure their seed phrase, password management, security, what is gas, all of these basic questions with someone that hasn't been in crypto and it's just so foreign to them. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked with gringos here because I'm like the resident, crypto expert, and just explaining these things to them. I consider them highly intelligent people, and when you start speaking crypto language to them, it's like they turn into like a 12-year-old. They just don't get it because it's so foreign to them. And so what this does is it bridges that gap more than any other crypto project that's out there.
Is Zen an attack?
It's an attack. It's an attack on the status quo.
It's an attack on blockchains.
It's an attack on mediocrity.
I like that. So if your chain is mediocre, it's not going to be able. Zen's going to shut it down.
If you suck, you deserve to be off the market.
I think what's more important is to focus on the things that will get adoption, and that's what I believe is. Hola. That's one of my workers here. Yeah, he's the guy that's been building this path. So yeah, buen trabajo. Sí, pronto necesito un puente ya por la agua. Solo este lugar en este otro lugar en the primero calle, necesito un espacio ya. Yeah, my little puppy just chews on everything and is always attacking my leg. Why are you attacking me? I have some ideas on things I'd like to do in terms of networking with the school. They have this amazing school down the road that's been built by gringos. And so I thought it would be really cool to offer some sort of class where you can teach people about crypto, the kids, and they can get into crypto for free, right? And they can learn these skills. They can get into something that might actually be worth a tremendous amount of money in the future. I mean, that would be something that would be just so incredible to see. That is the intentions of crypto, is that it's going to be the currency of the future that's being used by the people, and it's not outside of a lot of the corruption of government control.
It's the currency to create the new decentralized world. That's what Zen is.
You have a number of people that are participating in an ecosystem, setting up wallets and essentially spamming the network, because if enough people are doing that, that's essentially what's going to happen. And the amount of transactions are going to rise on all of the other blockchains because this is happening. And I think that's a good thing. You're challenging essentially the efficacy of their blockchain. If they can't handle that, that's not the solution for the future, and they shouldn't be in crypto. And so those chains should die. We're gonna go take a little walk and check out one of my other workers. I got another guy over here is cutting up tablas. I just learned this little trail not too long ago. Say you were to have a job where you needed to create 50 wallets a day, and that produced a certain amount of income. Would you do that? Would you create those wallets and go through the steps? Would you do that? Because I think that if I explain that to people and I said, if you do this, you can make, X amount of dollars, right? The mindset here in Peru is, they'll just take that money. They're not necessarily going to look at the long-term implications. So for instance, they could set up those wallets, maybe do some free mints that come available in maybe a week or a month or something like that. And so you have the ability to sell that and turn that into real money that they could then cash out into soles. Soles being the local currency here. That might be something that catches on in a lot of third world countries. It also becomes a way to bridge all of these different areas of different blockchains and getting all of them involved, because you could create the wallets and essentially go on to all of the different networks and blockchains, and then you're getting involved in all these different aspects of securing a network through this proof of participation model. Such a tiny microscopic project in the crypto space. Currently, I think today it's about $40 million in this.
If you look at the Zen's market cap, it's microscopic. You need a microscope to see it. Shiba Inu is in billions, and I think we can do better with than Shiba Inu, because Shiba Inu is not really true decentralized crypto. It's very, very much loved, but the founders have a lot of the supply, and it has a quadrillion of tokens out there, or something like that, something ridiculous. In our case, with Zen, it's the community itself that gives birth to the tokens. No one else is selling them to you. It's really you guys that are making it. And so we want the community to make as many tokens as they can, bring more people in, teach them crypto, learn good habits, and have fun with NFTs, and have the kind of like a game with the collectability.
So that's what I'm currently working with. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do out here on my land, but these little spiky fuckers. Put your foot in that. Oh man, that hurts. Ow. Yeah, it's a jungle out here. I'm not sure exactly where my worker is, so I'm gonna head back. That fucking stung. They got those things everywhere. In the summer, I want to clear out a little bit more land and some of these dangerous plants. They have plants that, you know, if you get them on your skin, it's like you can't stop itching. A lot of challenges, you know, living out here, but I think it offers a lot of really cool perspectives in cryptocurrency on getting things started, getting people out here that, you know, work for $1 an hour, because that's what I pay. I pay $1 an hour roughly for my workers. I have a lot of workers out here and I like to get them started on a lot of different things, but I had to sit down and really dive into what I've been missing out on in cryptocurrency for the last 6 months. All right, back of the house here. That's enough jungle for today. Sometimes you run into unexpected things there in the jungle. I mean, every time I go back there, I see new things that I've never seen before. Typically insects, like really interesting insects. But getting back to Zen, I think that there's so much upside to what's going on with that ecosystem and the people that are working on it, and just having the background that they do and the connections that they do. This is something that is in its infancy, but has the potential to be an entire attack on the ecosystem of crypto itself. I mean, Zen might be one of those types of disruptors in the crypto space that has a huge adoption amplification in terms of the amount of users and participation in the ecosystem across all of the different blockchains. One of the things you could see is that model copied, produced perhaps in a different way. So this is the bridge that I built here. Still working on the floor. Here we've got fish that come in here. There's a little bit of an inlet a little bit further down. You know, this whole thing, you know, floods here. Comes up actually quite a bit. You know, that's the high ground right there. When it rains really, really hard during the wet season, which is what we're in right now, then you see the river rise, and this is right above the water line. You see that on some of the trees. All right, Rocky, ready? You ready, Rocky? Yeah. Oh, come on, how do you get down? Show me how you get down, huh? You do it all the time. Down. How do you get down? Come on. Yeah, so we're just waiting here for my girlfriend to come in off what they call the Pongero, which is the boats that they use here for hauling materials, cargo. It's kind of the bus of the Amazon. But I'll show you this little casita we've got over here. It's been flooded. The water's kind of gone back a little bit. We've gotten a little bit of a break from the rain. It's been raining super hard. I'm planting some different things here. I've got mango trees. We've got camu camu, which is great for drinks. Cocona, same thing. It's like a yellow drink. And there's mandarin and limon, or lime. And right here I just started growing what's known as yucca. Kind of almost looks like a marijuana leaf. It's like a potato, but a little bit of different texture, kind of more of like a stringy texture. Well, that's really easy to grow here. I planted them all over here, and some are growing faster than the others. This is all flooded not too long ago, and so I think the ones that were in the water were struggling a little bit. This is my port. You know, it's been completely destroyed. All those steps, I think I built 26 steps to get up here. They're all gone with the water. I'm learning about the project more intricately, and I'll have the ability to explain it to others in terms of the upper layers on some of the things that are going to be planned in the future, because that is what's going to give the ecosystem value. Is you have things that are more scarce as you go further and further up the chain, so to speak, with Zen, then you're going to have more value being created, more incentives to burn Zen, ultimately bringing up that price. You know, you have the added possibility of institutional investment coming in because the project is so new, it is so unique. I think this could just explode. So those are some of my off-the-cuff insights on how I see the Zen ecosystem. It could take some time to get there, and that's all going to depend on some of the adoption and some of the things that'll be planned to encourage adoption in the future.